Welcome to Friday, and today we are continuing on with Swoop, swooping in as we look at the Legacy Evolution Core Class Dinobots. We've already looked at 3, this is the 4th one on loan to us by our buddy Maximal10. Of course, Swoop is a flying lad, pterodactyl, I think he is. I can't remember what he is. He's one of the flying lads that I think there's debate about if he's even a dinosaur. It's really weird. It's Swoop, and he's also an arm. He's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is Core Class Swoop. I've only heard good things about this guy. And it really kind of built up my hopes that of the entire set, this guy has potential to be the best of the bunch. Is he? Let's find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. Before we had Studio Series 86 Swoop, we had Legacy Evolution Core Class Swoop. And a lot of people said, wow, this is an excellent swoop. Is it? Right now, we have looked at 3 of the Core Class Dinobots in this journey through the Core Class Dinobots to get to Volcanicus and the DNA Design Upgrade Kit for that Volcanicus. We looked at Grimlock, who scored, I think, a 7.75, if I'm not mistaken. We looked at Snarl, who I think is the standard bearer so far, at, I think, an 8.75. And we looked at Scar, who I like, but his scores went a little cattywampus in the end. I feel like he was about a 7.5. I think he's not quite as good as Grimlock. Not for nothing, I should note this now, when I did Grimlock's articulation, I did not give him credit for being able to put his arm across his body. I absolutely should have done that. Nevertheless, here we are with Swoop. Here's the box. Swoop looking very swoopy up there in his dino mode. Down here, the robot mode, and on the back, oh, I guess I should show this. It's your typical evolution fare on the front. And on the back we have dino mode, we have robot mode, and we don't see him as an arm, but we're gonna get there. As has become the case with these lads, we have a double-sided sheet of instructions. Actually really effective. I find the instructions for these core class guys, for the most part, really effective. For some reason, Swoop's instructions have a much darker blue pigment on them than any of the other instructions that are all just a little bit, you know, just a little bit lighter, right? So, interesting. Very interesting that these are as dark as what they are. And here we have Swoop being kind of swoop-tacular. You'll notice that he has, I guess, a version of his missiles up on his wings. It's actually 2 halves of the fist for arm mode, but we can take them off. And there is a little, I'm going to call it 3mm peg. And that little 3mm peg should, I assume, go in the hand, but it doesn't seem to want to do it for me right now. Let me take this one off too, while I'm at it. And they go on over a peg and another peg right here on the wing for the record. Want to hear something weird? The only way I can put them in his hands is if I make them underslung. I cannot get them in his hands down through the top of the hand. Weird. I'm sure I should be able to do that, but really, really strange. Okay, whatever. Let's take those out of his hands for now. And not for nothing, I guess I'll show this now because we're going to see it a little bit later. I mentioned that they are 2 halves of what's going to be a combined hand. There's a couple of little pegs. You just stand up, Swoop. There's a couple of little pegs. You just put them together, and this will be a hand later on for combined mode. So we're going to lay that aside for now. And the look of the guy. I mean, he has the head on his chest. It's gold. It has an Autobot symbol. He has a fin on the top of his head, it's red. The face is silver. Granted, above his brow line, there should be silver as well. It's red here, but again, as small as the core class is, I'm not going to get angry about it. The blue on the torso, very animation accurate. I like that the wings are done in like a white color, so that they're not just gray or silver, because they kind of aren't. The arms being all gray, I'm okay with that because they're supposed to be. I do wish that the little claws on his knee were gold, but you know what? At least we got the red line on the side, as we should. Sometimes I think that's black, but I like the red. This is a really great rendition of Swoop. I'm going to say for look, easy a 9. Easy a 9 for look. Let's do the articulation. So the head, like with other Dinobots, is left and right. It can sort of look down and looks way up because it's on a ball joint, which is great for when he's flying. The wings, they can move back and forth, and they're folded in, so like you can, if you want a bigger wingspan, you can always fold his wings out. If you want them all the way back, you can do that too. The arm can subsequently go all the way around. We have that far out for T-pose, which I think is okay for a core class. I'm not angry about it for a core class. Elbow, a little over 90 degrees. Because it's on a ball joint, we get a swivel, nothing at the wrist. We do have a waist. Granted, the head here kind of hinders it a little bit, but if you move the head just ever so slightly out of the way, you get full motion of it, really. Leg can go all the way forward. Leg can go back. Splits pretty much all the way out to the side. Thigh swivel. Deep knee. I mean, very deep knee. No ankle. I mean, gosh. No ankle, no wrist, but that's it. The most articulated of the lot. He was getting a 9 for his overall look. I'm going to say that the articulation for a core class is, it's not perfect, but it's real close. I'm going to say 9.5. So right now, 9.25 for Swoop. Let's do the transformation to Dino mode. Head goes all the way back, and the Dino mode head comes all the way up and over. The wings I already have flipped out. The legs go together, and they're going to flip up, and when they flip up, we have a couple of little starts here that's going to go into rectangular slots here on his back, and tab in like that. We're going to have the arms. Yeah, so there's a little nub here that will go in on the side of the leg, or it should. I don't find that they went in easy, but like, I find it's more of a guide than it is anything else. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think in the end, boom, here we have him in his Dino mode. If you want to take those two fists and place them up here on these little nubs, you certainly can, to give him blasters on his wings. But like, this looks real Swoop-esque. I get that these little leggies here, like, I guess you could do this. I guess you could, you know, bring that forward if you really, really wanted him to, you know. But I don't know if you have to for a core class. Oh man, easy little transformation that I actually really enjoy, and I think it's clever. Successful little Swoop. 9.25. I'm going to say 9.25 for the transformation here. Let's do the transformation back to the arm mode, I guess. So a 9.25 overall. This is an excellent little Swoop. We're going to take these legs and we're going to bring them down. We're going to, I guess, come here? Here. Where is that? It should be here, but how do I get it out? This should be the combiner peg, but how do I get it out? Hold on a second. I gotta get that combiner peg out. I know. I told you that I was gonna have the combiner peg out, and I don't. Here's why. Because, again, this is one of those cases where I think that the instructions sort of, I don't want to say got it wrong, but I find what's easiest is if you turn the legs around, then you can reach down under here just with your thumb and bring it up. And I Personally, I prefer that. It doesn't have to come out a lot, but it does have to come out a little bit. These wings should also fold in on the back. I think for Dinoking, I think they actually stay out and go out like this, because obviously all of these guys were used for, I'm going to say analogs of Dinoking, and the Pteranodon right arm is Yokuryu, which is what this guy was remolded as, and he has the wings out. But for Volcanicus, we put them in. Again, we can bring the arms here to the side. And lastly, with the hands, I guess, or the two hand halves together, we should be able to use these little rectangular tabs down here, and on the back of the hand there's a couple of rectangular ports, and hopefully we can line them up. Yeah, so that in the end you have an arm that looks like this with a hand down bottom. Much the same problem that I have with the other arm. I do not like that to get an elbow we have to turn it this way and go like this, giving us a gorilla hand. It's a design feature that's about 10 years, 15 years too late. Not a fan of that, not gonna lie. The guy was getting a 9.25. As a swoop, he's fantastic. As an arm, it's okay, but I don't like the way the wrist, the fist, whatever you want to call it, was handled. I think that could have been done better. We are working toward the DNA design upgrade kit. I'm starting to feel more and more like that kit is going to add value. The transformation to this, because of me not liking the arm, is only going to get about a 7, because I don't like this. I think more should have been done with it. 9.25. Overall score for this guy is still easily a 9. The standard bearer had been Snarl, but Swoop I think now is the standard bearer. We've had an 8.75, no sorry, a 7.75, an 8.75, that was Snarl. We've had about a 7.5 being Scar, and now this guy is a 9. Swoop, I can't say by far, because Snarl's close, but compared to the others, other than Snarl, this guy is by far the best done. Excellent little swoop, scoring a 9 overall. And here we are once again, and here he is. So let's get the kind of bad news, I suppose, out of the way first and foremost. I do not like that as an arm, we have to turn them at the waist if we want to get a sensible elbow bend. I don't like that the hand is therefore facing up. I don't like having it turned in, means that this is the shoulder and we get a gorilla arm. We should have left this engineering. I talked about it with Scar. We should have left this engineering back about a decade ago. We should be evolved beyond this for now. That said, if we take the kind of arm gripe out of it, as a version of Swoop, his pterodactyl mode is tremendous. It's really good. Very simple to get here, but very effective once you are here. I mean, it's no surprises in the transformation, but it goes smoothly like you would expect it to. In terms of robot, easily the best of the whole bunch. Seconded only by Snarl. Why do I say Snarl second to Swoop? Because Swoop has a dedicated thigh swivel, Snarl doesn't. So Snarl is fantastic, but Snoop is just a hair better. Great robot, really excellent core class offering. Great dino, really excellent version of Swoop. Serviceable arm, I guess. I'll say this much for the arm. At least it feels robust and solid. Even when you put it in, all of this feels good and solid and well toleranced. I think Swoop, as far as a core class offering goes, is an absolute win. Let me know what you think about core class Swoop. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way right here inside the videos.